is this idea that the one group of people have decided that they are the ones to save the world. And there's a certain po-faced, incredibly irritated, I'm getting it coming off in waves towards me here, like, how dare you question us because we know what's right. I'm going to glue my hand to some tarmac and then I'm going to be a martyr and I'm going to be a good person, while the rest of us can't get on with our days. I mean, with respect, Miranda is 20. I'm more than twice her age. I've got kids, I've got a job, I've got an elderly mother. We have to get on with our lives. Most people feel they're doing their bit. They are doing the recycling. They're trying. I can't afford an electric car. I can't afford a heat pump. Most people can't afford that. The people that the campaigners should be focusing on is the government, not on ordinary people. But it's about ego. There's no doubt that we've had a winter without any protest, but as soon as the sun comes out, it's eco-festival time. And it is a festival. It's a big jamboree. It's let's get on social media, let's sit down with a placard, let's advertise to my friends what a great person I am, while the rest, ordinary people who have to go to work, can't get to work.
So that was fun. Anyway, there are these protests going on in the UK right now. Members of Just Stop Oil, the JSO, are trying to raise awareness about all these issues that we talk about so commonly. And a 20-year-old member of it, Miranda Whelehan, went viral participating in that conversation in what appeared to be a reenactment of the core concept of Don't Look Up. I'm gonna show you another clip and I want you to see if you can spot what we're talking about here.
I mean, I would say I don't think any of us want to be disrupting people's lives, but I think given the science and the things that academics are saying about what oil is causing around the world and in this country too, this is the level of action that needs to be taken when our government is failing on their energy policies and their climate pledges.
But you'd accept, wouldn't you, that it's a very complicated discussion to be had. It's a very complicated thing. And this Just Stop Oil slogan is very playgroundish, isn't it? It's very Vicky Pollard. It's quite childish.
Yes, it's a complicated story, obviously, very consequential, high stakes. So I'm gonna focus on your slogan, and that's the big issue. And me, a guy who I'm assuming he's been doing the news for a few years, he still thinks in 2022, no, we need to just be starting to have this conversation. It's so complicated, we can't have reached any conclusions at this point. But he goes way beyond just insulting her slogan. Take a look at this.
Just stop oil. I mean, come on, there's more to say than that, isn't there?
I would say that the answers are actually very simple. We need to stop new oil licensing, and that's what we're asking. With the oil reserves that we have now and the oil fields that we have that are still going, that would provide us with 8 years of oil if we said no to new oil, and that's what we're asking for.
But how do the blockades advance that argument? They don't, do they? They simply cause nothing but disruption, and you get a negative reaction. I've got to tell you, we were expecting to get some messages of support from our viewers for you. We haven't had one, not one. We've had nothing but furious complaints from people. Nothing positive at all.
So she's a young person that is terrified of what sort of life is ahead of her in terms of the climate, what effect it's gonna have. And she's brought on there and berated by people who are so aggrieved that she and her group, Just Stop Oil, would briefly inconvenience people to try to get them to pay attention to the oncoming apocalypse. It's so right out of Don't Look Up. Do they not have that movie in the UK? Nelini, are they not familiar with this? What do you think?
I mean, as I'm actually calling in from Puerto Rico, where my family's from, that was devastated by Hurricane Maria in 2017. There was a big island-wide blackout the other day, and people all across this island know the effects of climate change to their core. And so I don't know if it's when, folks have flooding in their high risers or wherever they're living, or their kids get affected by it. But the reality is, if one inconvenience day for people that stops and jams up their day means that we can save hundreds of millions of lives on this planet, I'll take it. And I really don't understand if Netflix, UK didn't come out with Don't Look Up yet, because this could have just been, hey, you guys, you just did this whole scene here. But yeah, I think that it's tragic to see an older generation of folks berate young people for being courageous and taking a stand for their lives and their future.
Exactly. Yeah, and look, we're sort of joking about it, but it's the taking the most consequential, long-term, most consequential issue and boiling it down to, okay, so we're gonna bring on an activist, but we're gonna bring on someone else to yell at her, and then I'm gonna mock her because I don't agree with, it is such a level of disrespect, not just of the individual, but of the topic, of the movement, of all of the activists who are doing everything they can to fight against endless funding of pro-fossil fuel corporations and all of the propaganda. We want to give her a little bit more time to make her case. Here's a little bit more from that interview.
I wonder if any of you have read the latest IPCC reports that have come out this year. You know, what they have said is that we are on the road for climate catastrophe. We are on the road for 3 degrees of warming. This will happen to my generation, to your children's generation, potentially to your grandchildren. And I think we have a moral responsibility to act now. You know, we're supposed to be climate leaders. We're geopolitical leaders. We could set the way for the whole planet by committing to stopping oil, moving to energy efficiency, moving to renewables, moving to insulation. And I think the children and the future deserve at least that.
That's who they're disrespecting. That's who the woman you saw in the middle of that video was sighing at hearing that young Miranda Whelehan just trying to get people to be responsible, to be as aggrieved about the fact that the world might become unlivable, that food might not be able to be farmed, that hundreds of millions will be displaced. Could you be as bothered by that as the fact that it took a few more minutes to get to work? Could you take a little bit of a zoomed out look at this? I don't know, Nelini. I get so frustrated watching interactions like that.
Also, he's complaining about the slogan, like out of all things. Like, I mean, I get frustrated at people's slogans all the time, but out of all the things, if their cause and their issue is right and just, and it is talking about something that is so imperative, where we have wildfires, we have flooding at a level that we haven't had, we have storms, monsoons, you name it, in whatever place in the world, whatever climate that you're dealing with it's drastically changing. And there will be no future for folks if we do not settle this climate crisis right now. And I think it's really, 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 really belittling when adults, people who have lived most of their lives, who may be retiring soon or maybe can retire sooner, who might not even see the day where we're actually having water wars and struggling for food, can belittle us and say that our causes are not right when they might not even see the day.
Exactly. Finally, by the way, I wanted to give you just a little bit of what Miranda had to say when she wrote, I think it was originally in The Guardian, she wrote up an op-ed about the experience. She said, when the interview finished, I tried to speak more to Ranveer Singh and Madely, 2 of the people who I believe were on stage at that point, to stress how serious this is. Madely just told me to be quiet and watch the weather presenter. My fear is that they will only understand the reality of the climate crisis when it is on the doorstep, perhaps when the floodwater is uncontrollably trickling into their homes, or when they can no longer find food in the supermarkets. Maybe then the brutal reality of losing a livable planet would actually sink in. Maybe then the journalists, presenters, and climate delayers would think, oh, maybe we should have listened, done something. And of course, it will be too late. And it is difficult enough to get people to address crises as they're happening and to respond reasonably to them. We saw that during the pandemic. It was hitting us every day and we could not get people to be part of a solution. The idea that you would vilify people who are trying to stop it from getting to that point, who are being so much more responsible than the so-called adults in the room, is just so fundamentally frustrating. And like, great work, Miranda, JSO, other activists. We would love to talk to Miranda, by the way, on the show. I can't imagine going up against this, how frustrating that must be on a daily basis for them too. Any your thoughts, Nelini?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say that NASA scientists this week have been so courageous and so brave, risking their jobs, chaining themselves to banks like Chase Bank. And so I just want to say for all of the activists out there, continue to do what you're doing. You have a lot of people on your side, and don't stop just because some folks say, oh, could you do that a little bit later? I think it's really important that we take to the barracks now and make sure our voices are heard.
I agree. That was a good accent right there too, by the way. I did like that.
Thank you.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.